Greetings, this is Jim Lindsay. This is a briefing on the Batman project. And I'm at the Blackboard website. It looks a little strange, I know, because it's kind of grayed out. This thing isn't visible to you guys yet. That's why it has kind of the weird look. But this is the Batman project, and it's going to be available until Sunday, 11:59 p.m. on June 26th. And so you're going to have plenty of time to complete this. But this is your first homework assignment. It's worth 50 points. That's 50 points. The instructions, the detailed instructions for it are right there. We're going to take a look at those in just a moment. And what this assignment requires you to do is it requires you to demonstrate that you can draw things. You can draw specifically logos. And in the first week of class, during Aquaman, you learned all about the Visio drawing tools. You learned about the pencil tool, the line tool, the arc tool, all that sort of good stuff. And as a result of that, you should be able to put together pretty complex logos. And so this is an opportunity for you to demonstrate that you have learned how to do that. Let me give you an example, and I'm going to go over to the website for Mitsubishi, and perhaps maybe you have seen this logo before. Up here in the upper left corner, you've got the Mitsubishi Motors logo. It's a triangle, and inside of the triangle there are other triangles, and this is kind of a cool logo to use as an example. And you'll see it's on the front of the cars. As you drive around town, I'm sure you've seen Mitsubishi Motor cars, but we want to try and draw that logo right there. And so again, this is not one of the ones you do for your homework assignment, but what I want you to get from this briefing is the plan of attack. How do you attack this homework assignment? Let me show you. So let me jump over to Visio and pull Visio up. I already have the Mitsubishi logo pictured on my screen here, so I can try and mimic it. And as I zoom in here, instead of looking at this as instead of trying to draw exactly that, what I want you to do as you look at one of these logos is I want you to look at the logo and then start to break it down and analyze what is actually in this logo. And what does this thing consist of? And you could look at this from a variety of points of view. It could look as like a triangle, and inside of the triangle there are the points of 3 other little triangles, or you could look at this as maybe 6 or 7 different triangles. Some of them are red, some of them are white. This could look like 3 different diamonds that are connected at the center. But however you choose to look at it, that's going to help you figure out how to draw that particular shape. And so if we were going to try and draw this one, you have a variety of drawing tools available to you from the drawing area right up here, right? And you learned all about these during the first week when you learned about the whole drawing skills lesson. And so what I would do, I'm going to use the pencil tool as a choice I'm going to go with. And I'm going to attack this as like this is 3 different diamonds. And if I can draw one perfect diamond, I can then duplicate it and then set it on the screen so it looks just like what we see here, right? And so that's what I would try and do in this with this homework project. And so remember that think about the characteristics of the tools. Like with this particular tool, if you could join the ends of your lines, then what you end up with is basically a solid shape which you can then fill with color, because I'd like for my logo to not only have the lines, but I also want it to be filled in with the correct colors and all that sort of good stuff. So let me zoom in here just a little bit further. I'm going to really try and copy this guy right here. I could try and do it right on top of the shape itself. So I'm going to try and draw a line here. All I have to do is get one of these right. If I get one correct, then the rest will be just duplication and placement. Right there. I kind of messed that one up a little bit at the top, but I'll probably be able to survive it. That one's a little bit out of sync, but I'm trying to get this done while I get this trying to get this all done so I can just teach you this lesson. Jump in here in my fill colors, make sure that it's going to fill for me. There's red right there. So perfect. So now I'm going to go back to my pointer tool, jump back out here, come over here, this guy over, and with one of those done, I can now make a couple duplicates of that, and I can now place these using the rotation feature of Visio and start to make what looks like a pretty good Mitsubishi logo. Is that exactly perfect? No, but it's pretty close, and if I spent more time on that, I could get that pretty much exactly perfect. You have things that you can use like these guides. You can use those guides to help you get, you know, exactly horizontal or exactly perpendicular. Get a guide here. There you go. Get good straight up and down lines. You've got, you know, you've learned about those. So that's the process that I want you to follow. Look at the logo, try and break it down to the individual shapes that make it up, and then draw those individual shapes, and then you can take, for in this example right here, these three shapes would then be grouped together. Go to grouping and group. That becomes a single thing. So let me get that. These guys grouped. Yeah, got them grouped, okay. And from there, I can then grab my grouped item here and move it around my page accordingly. So keep use that plan of attack as you start to work on this homework. So let me show you the actual homework assignment. What do I want you to do? Well, I want you to go back to Blackboard and open up this instruction here. I want you to draw 3 logos, and you have choices. You're going to draw 3 different logos. You're going to then put a horizontal line, which you guys know how to do. You know, if you can draw one of these, you can certainly make a horizontal line. You also know all about the text tool, because we've been through the lessons in chapter 1 and 2 at this point as well, which talk about the text tool. And you're going to put your 3 logos on a page with a horizontal line with your name and then CIS 320-Summer 2016. That's what I want you to create. What do these 3 logos need to be? Well, on the left-hand side, you need to have either this Adidas or that Adidas. In the middle, you need to have the Lincoln Park logo or this DC logo. And on the right, you need to either have the Pepsi logo or the AAA Motor Club logo. And you can see, obviously, they get harder as you go from left to right. The Adidas logos are pretty simple. You should be able to get those done very quickly. Lincoln Park and DC, those take some time. And Pepsi and AAA, they take even more time. And so, but you've got, you have plenty of time to get this done. You're going to draw those 3. What you may want to do in Visio itself, you may want to, let me zoom on out to this, you can see the whole page. You may want to create separate pages where you draw each one of those individual logos, and then when you're done with that logo, take that individual logo and then copy it, go back to the original page, and let's say this is where you're going to put all your 3 logos together. Put it there. At that point, if you needed to resize it, you could then start to resize, accordingly. So you have like 1 logo, 2nd logo, 3rd logo, horizontal line, and the text. Keep in mind that when you resize like this, if you draw like a full page item, if there's text, when you take it over to another page, it's a little bit tough to get that resized text to go with it. So you may want to try to draw as close to the actual, the end size with that in mind. So that's the process. Let me close that guy up. So this is your assignment right here. So again, one of the Adidas logos, Lincoln Park or DC, and Pepsi or AAA. That's what I want you guys to draw. Put a horizontal line, put those guys right there. So that's what I want you guys to do for me. This is due. What you turn into me is a Visio file. You're going to call it yourname.vsdx. And you're going to turn this into me using the Batman project link. So back at Blackboard, You're going to click on this link for Batman, and you'll just scroll on down here. You make sure that your file is saved and closed. Hit browse out to your, let's say that was it right there. Hit open, and then hit the submit button right there. And this, again, this has to be done by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, June 26th. So if you have questions, let me know, and ask your questions early. If you wait until like Sunday that this thing is due, I may or may not be online that day. So ask your questions in advance, well in advance, so I can, for sure get back to you and answer any questions that you may have. So I think that's it. Thanks for your time and attention. I look forward to seeing your work, and have a good day.